Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow is going to be a historic day. And tomorrow we have ourselves a big, big day in MMA. Two massive cards. And we're going to be starting with the Apex card. All right. Because somehow in a world where Netflix MVP, giant card, the biggest card that they can possibly make to compete with the UFC is going to be on the same night as an Apex card headlined by a guy with vitiligo, and it's somehow on the same level of competition, basically. All right. Other than like Francis Ngannou on that card, all right, the levels of competition are basically the same, if not greater. All right, because we got ourselves a bunch of no names on this here card. We're going to be going over Arnold Allen versus Malik Costa. Finally, after all these years from my very first YouTube video, I said I was going to talk about this card next week, and next week was like 2 months. So we're going to be going over this card top to bottom, going over every single fight, starting with the early prelims, because screw it. Shauna Bannon versus Nicole Caleri. You guys are going to hear me saying this a lot in this card, but I don't really know Nicole Caleri too much. I think that Shauna Bannon is actually pretty decent, but she is a massive underdog in this fight. And I actually have seen a little bit of tape from Nicole over here. She's got a decent little Muay Thai style. She's got good low kicks. So, almost a minus 300 favorite, man. I'm going to just go ahead and tail that. I'm going to assume that the bettors know what they're talking about. Next fight is so horrendous. We got Daniel Barrez versus Luis Gairelli. I'm going to go with Luis. He's got big, scary tattoos. This guy Daniel's from Spain. Spain isn't necessarily known for having the greatest fighters unless your name is Ilia Topuria. And he's just got a weird build. He's got weird tattoos. This guy Luis over here, I like his tattoos. His tattoos are pretty sick. He's got a bald, scary head. He looks like a featherweight. Or no, this guy's at flyweight. I was about to say he looks like Alexandre Pantoja. He looks like Alexandre Pantoja. So I'm going to pick Luis. I'm going to go with Luis. Don't let me down. We move on to Polyana Viana versus Alice Alderine. This is going to be the battle of whose OnlyFans is more popping. For research purposes, of course, I have looked at both. Nah, I'm joking. I haven't seen either of them. I know that Polyana has one, but apparently this other girl has one too. So that is just crazy. Polyana Viana has sadly not done enough in her last couple performances to impress me. She's not that active either. She was, dating Alex Pereira for a while, and they broke up after a couple weeks. But hey, they lasted longer than Tracy Cortez at least. So I'm going to go with Alice Alderine by close women's fight decisions. Next fight we got, holy crap, guys. We got ourselves a real WrestleMania main event right here. Cody Brundage versus Andre Petroski. This is the stoppable object versus the movable force. All right, the movable force versus the stoppable object, whatever you want to say. I once seen Andre Petroski get knocked out by the force. All right. I don't know who he was fighting. Maybe he was fighting Matestas Kaskis or someone like that. I don't know who he was fighting, but he was fighting someone, and he literally got knocked out by the force. And Cody Brundage is coming in as a plus 155 dog. And I think this is actually really good value because Cody Brundage, man, he's tough. Like, yeah, he loses to everyone. I think both these guys, their most recent fights, I think they both lost to Cam Rowston, which is pretty funny. So the UFC likes to do these kind of fights where it's like, let's take two victims of the same guy and just see who's more shit. So in my opinion, I think Andre Petroski is going to be more shit in this instance. Cody Brundage, he's also pretty bad, but he can scrape together wins and he can craft it up. And that's what I always say about this guy, man. He's crafty. You know what I mean? He may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but man, he can do some damage. So I'm going to pick Cody Brundage as a 155 dog. That is good value. If you are a bettor, it's like both these guys are trash anyway. So it's like, it's honestly kind of a 50-50 fight, but to me, it's like 60-40 Brundage. You know what I mean? I think that's great value, actually. So in terms of not so great value, Catlin Vieira versus Jacqueline Calavacenti. Wow. So we got ourselves a whole bunch of women's fights. We're just sticking all the women's fight in the Apex, man. And that's crazy because both of these girls are ranked, right? And this is an Apex fight, but it just goes to show that neither of them are very exciting. Catlin Vieira, she's just a big, strong Brazilian woman, big, strong, butch lesbian with an emo haircut. I wish you guys could see her haircut right now. 'Cause tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Right? But you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna pick Catlin Vieira. I just haven't seen enough from this Jacqueline girl, and I think that's good value, man. Live, Catlin Vieira is a big, strong girl. Yeah, man. I just haven't seen enough from Jacqueline here. I'm pretty sure Jacqueline's last fight, she won against Marina Bueno Silva. And I think that might be like her only win in the UFC, maybe. Because I have not seen this woman fight. All right. And she's somehow already ranked number 11 in the world, but that's women's bantamweight for you. No competition whatsoever. So yeah. I'm gonna go with my girl, Ketlin Vieira. We move on to Tommy Nat versus Artier Muniv. Minev? I'm gonna go with Tommy Nat because he's a plus 200. He's a not plus 200. He's a minus 200 favorite. I think both these guys are debuting. They're both unranked. I'ma just go with who has the better odds. All right, Tommy Nat plus. Why do I keep saying plus? Minus 200 favorite. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Nat. Nat is a crazy name. How are you supposed to get intimidated by a dude named Nat? The literal like tiniest fly that you can imagine. We move on to the feature fight of the prelims in Tugo Turcos versus Ivan Erslan. I'm gonna go with Ivan Erslan, big scary Russian guy, or actually looks like he's like Croatian. Even better. All right, Serbian, freaking anywhere in the Balkans, scary guys. Scary guys. Tuco Turcos. This guy's English? I always thought this guy was Mexican. This guy's name is Tuco. The guy's name is Tuco, but he's English. I saw this guy get slimed out by Junior Tafa. Junior Tafa's not that good. I'm gonna go with Ivan Erslan. All right, big, bald, scary Russian dude. You can't go wrong. We move on to the main card. Nikolai Veretennikov versus Chaos Williams. I'm gonna go with Nikolai Veretennikov as an underdog. I'm going with a bunch of underdogs on this card. But you know what, man? Every time I pick favorites, I end up looking stupid anyways. Even though the last guy I picked simply because he was a favorite. Or 2 fights ago, but whatever. Nikolai Veretennikov has great striking. Chaos Williams, I think we've pretty much seen everything that he's going to accomplish in the UFC. He's not even ranked, and we've seen him get slimed out. Who slimed him out? It was someone. It was dude. Someone knocked him out bad. Oh, Gustafsson. But even before that, I feel like even before that, he got slimed out really badly. Maybe it was by one of the Bone Theme brothers. I think it was one of the Bone Theme brothers that just this man was staring up at the canvas. He did not know where he was. It was a bad knockout. Nikolai Veretennikov, he's lost a couple of fights in the UFC, but those fights were pretty close. He's losing fights by decision. Chaos Williams is getting absolutely knocked out and slimed out. So I'm going to go with Nikolai Veretennikov. I think that's excellent value. If you are betting, I think at plus 100, you can't get much better than that because I think Veretennikov has a great, great chance of winning this fight. But if Chaos Williams is powerful, if he does become the first person to finish Nikolai Veretennikov, I will be very sad, and you won't be able to blame me because I'm telling you right now, it's risky, but it's still good value. I might bet on this man. We move on to Timmy Cumbia versus Bernardo Sopage. Sopage is pretty decent, actually. I'm gonna go with Sopage, man. I've actually seen Sopage fight. This guy did get knocked out badly by Vinicius Oliveira, someone, but Sopage has been here a while. I'm gonna go with Sopage, man. Albania. This is what I said. These Balkan guys. You think I'm gonna pick this guy to win over this scrawny-looking freaking American Timmy? Look at Timmy over here. What the hell has Timmy ever accomplished in his whole career? He knocked out. Okay, yeah, I remember that fight actually. He knocked out this whatchamacallit, this Korean guy. I'm still picking Sopage. All right, he's got more experience. I think he's gonna be able to get it done. We move on. Speaking of Matestas Pakakis, we got ourselves Christian Edwards versus Matestas Bukaki. I'm joking. Bukakis. Crazy name. This guy's English as hell, but he represents Lithuania. But he ain't Balkan, man. All right. I know I've been saying all this stuff about these Balkan boys, Russian guys. He's a minus 330 favorite, which is kind of crazy to me. I put a lot of money on Mr. Bukaki here to beat Nikita Krylov. I mean, come on, man. How crap you have to be. You can't even get into the rankings and beat Nikita Krylov in the big 2-6, bro. I was angry at that, man. This man, right? This is why people call you the N-word, all right? Because you lost my parlay, even though he's white, all right? But yeah, I mean, I guess I'll pick Matestas Bukakis. This is also a catch weight. But yeah, I mean, he's fighting a guy who's not even ranked. But honestly, bro, I'm rooting for Christian Edwards, this baby-faced bloke over here. I'm rooting for Christian Edwards all the way because I hate Bukakis, all right? He should have left the UFC after his freaking knee got blown out by Khalil Roundtree. All right, he deserves another oblique kick for how badly he cooked my parlay. Anyways, we move on to Malcolm Wellmaker versus Juan Diaz. I think it's pretty obvious that Malcolm Wellmaker is going to win this. If Juan Diaz can get himself a win here, Malcolm Womaker's career is over. The amount of hype this man had, 3 right hook knockouts in a row, only to lose to Ethan Ewing. But we've all seen that Ethan Ewing is really, really good. So that is not a bad loss. Facing Ethan Ewing on short notice, I think he's going to absolutely slime out Juan Diaz by knockout. By KO. You heard it here first, folks. We're going to see ourselves, because I don't even think Juan Diaz is also like, I think he's debuting as well. So not looking good for him. Not looking good. We move on to the co-main event. This is banger co-main event, guys. Absolute banger. Duho Choi versus Daniel Santos. All right. Daniel Santos actually coming in as the favorite here. I think the idea is he slimed out one Korean in his last fight, so he's gonna slime out this Korean. But Duho Choi is actually pretty good. 140 underdog. Man, this one's actually tough because Santos, he's powerful, he's well-rounded. Duho Choi's a little older now, man. But then again, sometimes when I pick against these unks, man, they prove me wrong. I think Duho Choi is better than you. Not you, but you, the Korean guy. And do I have the balls to pick another underdog? Nah, I'm gonna go with Daniel Santos. I'm gonna pick Daniel Santos by close decision. But if another unk proves me wrong, I swear to God, I'm gonna crash out, and you guys are gonna see it. We move on to the main event. Arnold Allen, ranked number 7 in the world, versus Malik Costa, ranked number 12. Hell of a main event, guys. But no, for real, pretty cool fight. Arnold Allen, he's been there with the best guys. Out of his last 4 fights, sadly, he's lost 3, but he's been fighting the best guys for a while now. Lost to Max Holloway. And who did he lose to? Max Holloway, and then he lost to someone else after Max Holloway. I know he beat Gigi Chikadze. Pretty decent win. Not the best, but decent. And losing to Gene Silva, that was, it was a close fight. It was a close fight. And honestly, like, if you rewatch that fight, it's like, I feel like Gene Silva mainly won just based off his aura. I mean, I love Gene Silva. I'm glad he won. But it was a close fight for Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen was out for a while. So that, honestly, I don't take too much stock away from Arnold Allen. This one's tough because I do think that the odds makers have this one right. It's very, very close with Arnold Allen at a -120 and Malik Costa at a +100. So not exactly pick him, but the odds are still pretty close. And I agree. It's like Malik Costa, he's powerful. He's a great kicker, man. Great kicker. All right, head kicked Morgan Charrier. Even though Morgan Charrier is not the best, that was a crazy head kick knockout. Then he spinning back kicks Dan Ige in the face. Crazy, crazy finish. I love how this guy consistently gets finishes. He's a bad, bad man. Arnold Allen, he doesn't really get finishes unless you're a weight drained, depleted Dan Hooker at featherweight, right? Unless you're a weight depleted Dan Hooker, you're not getting knocked out by Arnold Allen. So that is kind of the fear that, he's fighting a real power puncher. Well, not really a power puncher, more of a power kicker. He's got really good kicks. So Arnold Allen, I believe if he plays this one safe, if he stays at range, he is moving the whole time, he's staying busy, I believe that he will win this fight. But again, man, MMA, anything can happen. Who knows? Maybe Malik Costa will get himself another knockout, which would be absolutely crazy. Would absolutely rocket him into the mainstream, I think. Malik Costa is already one of the more underrated guys in the division. I really think that he has a fun style, and, I want him to get more attention. But, he's lost before. Lost to Steve Garcia, and he lost his very first fight to someone notable, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Arnold Allen was on a crazy win streak coming into the UFC, and a crazy win streak in the UFC until he lost to Max Holloway. No shame in that. Was also a competitive fight until he got a little pissed off at the end and got himself dropped, which kind of lost him the fight. But who else did he lose to recently? Gene Silva, Max Holloway. Who the heck did this guy lose to? Come on. Movsar Evloev. That's not a bad loss. It's not a bad loss at all. That's the #1 contender. Dude's undefeated. Like, not a bad loss. I remember that fight as well. Arnold Allen versus Movsar Evloev. That was on Johnny Walker versus Magomed Ankalaev. Dude, that was like one of the first fight nights I watched. I remember Gene Silva actually like debuted on that card. It's just random how I'm remembering this. But like, it's crazy because I remember watching this fight and I was still a new fan and I didn't know either of these dudes. And like, I keep forgetting that this fight happened. Like, these two fought and I watched them and it must have been a boring fight. Then again, that's Movsar Evloev for you. Hey, he's going to hold you down and you're going to forget his freaking performance. But hey, people forget, man. This guy knocked out Calvin Kattar. So yeah, man, I'm going to pick Arnold Allen. by somewhat close decision. But then again, man, Malikos Costa is powerful. So don't be surprised if something crazy happens. But I think Arnold Allen should have this. The odds are reflecting it. So yeah, next video, we're going to be covering the Netflix MVP card. We're going to be doing it basically right after this one. So stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys later. Subscribe, like, all that.